And we have done easier questions like this. Only they made it harder. Is a solution to that. Okay, who can tell me? I have nothing profound to tell you. Take the ball and run. What two things can I do? Or easiest still. Tell me one thing I can do. This is the only piece of information they give us. What might I do? Take the derivative? That's kind of common sense. This is like the third or fourth problem we're doing like this.
What's the power of t?
Oh, it says Rx. E to the power of Rx. So we'll take the derivative. The derivative of mx is m plus r e rx. And I'm stuck. What else might I do? We've done this every single time for this kind of problem. What else might I do? Set them equal. Again, I have nothing profound to say for these problems. Just go where the problem leads you. Okay, I'm still stuck. So what else can I do? Last step. And then I'm kind of good to go. What else might I do? I'm stuck. Sorry? You'll have to be louder and clearer. Thank you. We have a floating y. Have they given us y? So that's what I want to tell you. You need to be alert and alive to the information given. She has got the hang of how we do these problems. So 3x plus 2 times mx plus b plus erx plus 1 equals n plus rerx. Look down, please. Look down. So 3x plus 2mx, 2b, 2erx plus the 1 should be equal to n plus r e to the power of rx. Okay, there were some students in the other class who were lost here. Like, how do we solve them again? So, it's almost like, again, ask and you shall receive. I did a better job for the kids in the passing period. So, there were some kids hanging out and still ask me, can you go over that? Watch this. Don't write. Unless you want to. If you're writing this, write it as sidebar. I'm just giving you an example. Assume for a second I told you 2x squared minus 3x plus 5 was ax minus 4x squared. Minus bx squared. And I say find a and b. It's a very elementary problem that comes on the SATs. Just by staring, what should a be? Negative 3. What should b be? A better one. Oh, okay, sorry. Take the 5 out, better example. And like plus c. Okay, that's a better example. Trust me on that. Okay, now just by continue staring, what should b be? Negative 2. And what should c be? 0. Everybody observe that. So we're just comparing like terms together. I'm going to use that concept for this crazy expression. Alright? So just be alive. Look down. I'm going to walk you through it. Look down. Obviously, what should r be? No, look down. Can everybody convince themselves why r should be 2? I'm just looking at like terms on the left and right. Okay, next, so write it down. So we know r should be 2. I'm done with this. To make it easier on myself, I'm going to just erase this. It's not even relevant to the problem. Alright. What should 3x, look at the left side, what should 3x plus 2mx be? Just be alive. What should 3x plus 2mx be? Louder? 0. Thank you. Can you see? There's no x term there. So it should be 0. So look at the board. So I'm going to ready to solve. So 3x plus 2mx should be 0. There's no x term on the right side. Therefore, what can I factor out? So 3 plus 2m equals 0. Therefore, m equals negative 3 halves. Okay, we found the second guy. Okay, so I'm done with that. And then 2b plus 1 should be, hint, that's the constant term. 2b plus 1 should be louder. M, thank you. Oh, do we know one of those? M, we know M. And just circle, as in we can solve for B. Then we can solve for B. Okay. So did everybody observe the logic of what we did? Now please understand, I hope everybody gets, what we just did was not calculus. It was more like common sense. Like, okay, if these two should be match up, the coefficient should perfectly match up. The constant coefficient should be the constant coefficient. The x coefficient should be the x coefficient. And the exponent function should have the same exponent function. It was in calculus. Anyway, we're doing C. Now, dedicated to Mr. Wynn. Read it with me, please. C says, let y equals f of x be a particular solution to the differential equation with the initial condition being f of 0 equals negative 2. Use Euler's method starting at x equals 0. I was missing you now. Use Euler's method with x equals 0 with a step size of 1/2. What do we write for that? Thank you, delta x equals 1/2 to approximate f of 1. Guys, we're starting at 0 going to 1. So how many steps should I use? 2, because each of them should be 1/2. So I will first find f of 1/2. Is that clear? I hope you remember. This is standard line approximation. So f of 1/2 equals f of 0 plus f dash of 0 times 1/2 delta x, which is 1/2. What's f of 0 given to me? Negative 2 plus. Okay, guys, Asian, folded hands. Please show the work. Don't do things in your mind. It's not worth it. I'm going to find f dash of 0 on the side. Don't forget f dash is nothing but dy over dx. So 2 times. Oh, sorry. I meant 3 times 0. Sorry. Plus 2 times plus 1. Simplify, what do you get? Negative 3. Now I'm getting ready to plug it in. Negative 3 times 1/2. This is negative. Simplify, use fraction trick, tell me what you get. Negative 7/2. Now see if this is how we used to write it. It is very smart for Euler's method to write it as a point. That's 1/2 or negative 7/2. It makes your job faster and easier. And then the last step, f of 1. We made a small mistake. Are we not approximating? Can you please, I am making a mistake, can you please use that symbol? It is not an exact value. We're using Euler's method. Silly boy, come in front. Baba, raise your hand. Sit next to her. What a scoundrel you are sitting in the back. Okay, next. F of 1 equals, tell me what to write. Plus times, thank you. Okay, sidebar. Please show the work. It's not worth doing in your mind. They're too complicated arithmetic. So f dash of 1/2 equals 3 times plus 2 times, hint the y value, plus the 1. So that's 3/2 minus 7 plus 1. Look down. What's negative 7 plus 1? Use the fraction trick. Negative 9 over 2 times 1/2. Can we just do the simplification? That's not my job. My job is to show you how it works. That you can just combine like terms, take LCMs, whatever. That's your thing. Okay. That was C. Is that clear? Mr. Park, by being late, you missed out on B, man. B was a very interesting problem. Get notes from Miss Wynn or your friend Miss Dawn. We're doing D, please. We're doing D. Another one dedicated to Mr. Wynn. D says, let y equal to g of x be another solution to the differential equation with the initial condition g of 0 equals k. Okay? G of 0 equals k, where k is a constant. Euler's method, starting at x equals 0 with a step size of 1, gives an approximation of g of 1 to be 0. Find the value of k. It's a gimme problem. Just take the ball and run. I have nothing profound to tell you. Therefore, g of 1 equals g of 0 plus g dash of 0 times 1. Now, we've done lessons on this. Mr. Park, it's smart to write that differential equation now. Guys, what's g of 0 given to me? Just be alive. Plus, do not forget, last 2 days I've been screaming my head off. Don't get alarmed by letters. It says g of x, y equals g of x, satisfies that differential equation. So g is the same as y. Please understand that. G and y are exactly the same. So we're going to do a sidebar on g dash of 0. Okay, which is 3 times 0 plus 2 times, very smart, g of 0 is k, the y value, plus 1. And that simplifies to 2k plus 1. So I'm going to plug it back in. 2k plus 1. Oh, read the question again if you haven't. And what is g of 1 given to be? Just be alive. Can you solve for k then? It's a gimme problem. Nothing clever. It's not like you haven't taught it. No. Just take the ball and run. Use the information given. And the answer will show up. We'll do another problem like that. Oh, by the way, Ms. Eunice, you will love today's series problem. Okay, no, you will totally love it. You'll say, okay, I remember this problem. This time I'm going to get it right. You too, Marzu. That question 15 was really screwed up. Okay? I have a good memory. This is the one that you just stopped. You didn't even plug in. Remember the problem I'm talking about? You just left it. So, that's on today's series problem. Okay, we'll do a series problem. Once again, I'm sharing with you. Again, ask and you shall receive. Like Eunice confessed to me, like a series I kind of struggle on. So I'm making sure I do a series problem every single day. F of x equals. It's a very easy series problem. It's a gimme problem. No, I'm not making this up. That's what part A says. Find the first 4 non-zero terms and the general term for the Taylor series of f about x equals 0. So, what do we begin with? Louder? I can't hear you. So, I don't know if this is what she's saying. Correct me if I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. Are we saying f of x equals f of 0 plus f dash of 0 1 factorial, or Miss Dong? Thank you. Do we know the EX series? We know the EX series. Please be alive. This is a gimme. Oh my God, Marzi, you made yours. You're like, this has to be an easy way. And Marzi, it gets better. How do you do the nth term using that one? You need to know the nth derivative. Thank you, Miss Dong. Dong is giving you a run for your money, Marzu. So, EX. Can you start with the EX series? Start with the known series. It's just like today's work, Jonas. What's the EX series? Plus, again, you're not studying the Bible, you just left points. Please understand A and B, use that information. You haven't memorized the EX series, you just lost 5 points there. You lost 5 points there. 1 plus x plus over plus over plus dot 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 over n factorial. Okay, I'm chuckling for a reason. Put your pencils down. Assume for a second you're not coming prepared to class and you don't know the EXEs. Now this is accidental. Okay, this is just accidental. Read the entire problem. John realize immediately what's going on. You just have to be alive. In case you say, nah, I'm not as attentive as John. She says, kind of provided. In a later part. In a later part. You just have to be alive. You just have to be alive. Wink, wink. Okay, let's move on. Read the question. What do we do next? Say that loudly. Sorry? Divide x by negative 1/3. That's a very weird way to say that. No. Let me do the prompting. You're making it, I don't know if you'll end up doing it right. Replace every x with negative x over 3.
Oh.
He says multiply every x with negative 1/3. Like, I don't know if that's going to turn out to be the right answer. So, e to the power of negative x over 3. I'm going to replace every x. Please show the work. Please, Eunice, show the work. Over 1 factorial. Please, don't skip steps. Marzu, you'd better be using parentheses. Plus dot 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 negative x over 3 to the power of n over n factorial. Look down, please. Look down. So the second term is really x over 3. Now slow down. The third term is really x squared over 18. 3 squared is 9 times the 2 when you multiply with the reciprocal. The fourth term is really negative x cubed over, was it 162? Yes, it is 162. We did this in the other class. Okay, now everybody, pay close attention, and Ms. Marjorie will realize this. Observe the nth term. See if this comes back to you. This is an important skill. Observe the nth term, how I'm writing this. Or one of you is confident. Tell me what to write with the nth term. Very smart. Negative 1 to the power of n, xn over 3 to the power of n times the n factorial. And that's why Jung got into Berkeley. She actually, in her personal statement, showed that she's in. Yeah, that's all she had to do in the personal statement. She said, I can follow Rama's instructions carefully. I know how to bring that up. Here's the reason it's important. Everybody, look at the board. Silly jokes aside, here's the reason it's important. Because what if, it's not us, what if the question next part said, find the interval of convergence? Is that very nice to look at? There's a reason why I teach this a certain way. The radius interval of convergence is very easy to calculate for that. Okay, now I'm letting you know in period 2, or is it period 3? In period 3, I blundered. So I'm going to guide you. Are we done with that problem? In the other class, yeah, you're right. In the other class, I said, okay, moving on. And then I was doing part C and I said, wait a second. What happened to that 6 guy? We never accounted for the 6. So last time, I'm going to multiply by 6. So 6, e to the negative x over 3. So the first term will become? Second term will become 2x. The third term will become x squared over 3. The next term will become 6 goes, guys. I'm doing the mental math. 27. Plus dot 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 negative 1 to the power of n xn over 3n n factorial. That's your final answer. But it's a gimme. It's a gimme. San Diego, Hanson, please don't alarm me today. Is B a silly problem? Oh, one second. Is B a silly problem? Are we just integrating every term? Okay, it's doable. So this is f of x. Oh, don't forget, this is f of x. Make a note. That's f of x. Left-hand side. That's f of x. Yeah, sorry, what were you saying? Oh, you're right. Thank you. Thank you. Good catch, because there's 1 point of the end term. Thank you. I mean, I'm multiplying that by 6. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The fact that only one kid points out that mistake alarms me. Most of you should be in alert saying, or like, no, Rama, you're the Lord. We just accept what you say. Okay, is everybody okay that we can skip B? Okay, let's focus our attention on C. Guys, I'm so proud of myself. We just did a problem like that. So this will give you practice on finding constant. It says the function h of x satisfies that. The Taylor series of h is given by that. Find the values of a and k. So copy down that equation they give us. Again, this is the question like take the ball and run. H of x. Okay, they say use this information to find h and a and k. Which smart fellow? Observe what they've given us. What can I write next up? Observe what they give us for h of x. Thank you. I can replace h of x with ex. I want to see who's ahead of that. So ex equals k times f dash of ax. Okay, what is that equation telling you to do? You just need a pulse, guys. She says, find the derivative. And so sidebar. So f dash of x is, remember, we can't find f dash of ax immediately. We need to find f dash of x. Let's see who's clever. What's f dash of x? Be alive. Look at everything given. What's f dash of x? I love this girl. Here's why. In the other class, look at me. In the other class, remember we found f of x for a? There were kids finding the derivative every term. Not looking at, that's f of x. You need to be alive. You need to be alive. They're giving you, that's f of x. It would be very silly to write out of the series. Okay, thank you. 6 times negative 1/3 e to the power of negative x over 3. Rewriting is your friend. So what is that really? 2 e to the power of negative x over 3. Don't get me wrong. That's only f dash of x. What is the instruction telling you to do? Plug in ax. So f dash, I'm not doing anything clever, guys. This is just algebra. I'm just following directions. Is negative 2 e to the power of ax over 3. Everybody okay there? And then finally, what are they asking you to do? Okay, now I'm ready to do this. So watch this. This is the equation then. Ex equals k times. Was that a negative 2? E to the power of negative ax over 3? Everybody okay there? Okay, see if you can handle it yourself. I'll give you 30 seconds of thinking time. Compare coefficients. Just compare left side and right side. Just by staring at it. Just by staring at it, what should k be? Like common sense. What should k obviously be? Negative? K. I said k. Just by looking at both sides, what must k be? Not a trick question. 1. Not 0. Again, just equate left side with the right side. What should k obviously be? I haven't heard the right answer yet. Ms. Rios? Come on, guys, you can do better. Okay, Audas. Negative 1/2. Okay. Negative 1/2. For those of you who don't get it. Negative 2k should be 1. That's a 1 there. Using your imagination. Negative 2k equals 1. Therefore k equals negative 1/2. Okay, use your imagination. Find a by yourselves. She already found it. I want you to confirm it. She says a should be negative 3. Confirm it, please. Using common sense. Again, please understand this is not calculus. This is just comparing like terms. This term on the left should be that term on the right. Again. So negative a over 3 should be 1. That's a 1 here. So a should be negative 3. Okay. Not clever. These are not clever skills. So that was a series problem. Okay, let's continue. Okay, let's do a polar function. Write down the labeling. By the way, in case you're not aware, not that you bother, today is 2017. So the question you're doing are from the year 2007. Miss Mendoza, did you remember to take roll today for the first 3 classes? Did you mark Sanchez absent for period 3? Okay, thank you. Just checking. Because I usually do 5 and 6. Okay. Can you quickly sketch that function? A gimme. It was a gimme problem. But we learned something new in B and C. I will tell you, I was working on the problem. I'm just letting you know. Guys, there's a saying I've used in my emails as well as maybe on Google Classroom. It's like failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Now, some of you have a high opinion of me. Yeah, I'm a smart guy. But I am letting you know. Because I want the class to go smoothly without any hiccups. I'm letting you know, I work out these problems in the morning. I get up at 4:30 and make sure the problem will go smoothly. And I'm letting you know what number was that, 3 or 2? Whatever, or 4. I got stuck on B. And then I looked at what's given and said, now I get how to do it. But it's one of those things. But if I need to be like inspirational to you, it is like, even a guy supposedly smart, I prepare for class. I don't walk in and teach. That's just bad habits. That's just a bad. So failing to prepare is preparing to fail. I hope you sketch the polar functions. And I'm going to jog your memories for one simple reason. I'm going to tell you something, smile and say, yeah, that's true. On your homework in classroom, don't we do more parametric than polar functions? Correct? We don't do enough polar functions. But every now and then I'll give you a review of polar functions. See if this comes back. Usually it's a good habit. Label it. R1 equals 3 plus 2 cos theta. And then R2, read the question if you need to. R2 is 2. Is that clear? See if that comes back. Oh, if it's a 2 function problem for polar, we always first find the point of intersection. We set them equal, correct? Does that come back to you? Oh no! Good news, everyone. Read the question. They gave it to you. Okay, now stop. Who remembers what we do? How do I know where to label what? Who remembers what we do? That will tell me how to do it. Thank you. He smartly and she smartly says, find out where you start. So I'm going to deal with this. Cos of 0 is 2 plus 3 is, and that kind of clearly looks like a 5 rather than a short guy. So that is 0. That's an important idea. Cos of 90 is, so that's probably 3. That's pi over 2. Cos of 180 is, and can you see that's really small. Okay, bloody hell. So that guy is -1, so pi. Cos of 270 is? So we're coming back to the 3 guy. So this guy is 3 pi over 2. And cos 2 pi we come back. Exactly. That's 2 pi. Oh! Now if you know this is just a regular axis, where should 2 pi over 3 be? That guy, second quadrant. That's 2 pi over 3. See if it comes back from the school year. That guy should be 4 pi over 3. The third quadrant angle. Now I'm going to do one more thing for good habits. Let's see if the skill comes back. The point of intersection. Is it smart to do this? See if that comes back. So you can see clearly where the cutoffs are. Alright? Now part is a gimme. Part just says find the area of region R. Okay? Find the area of region R. If you're smart and you remember the concepts, we should use symmetry. I love this guy. She comes prepared to class every day. Use the concept of symmetry. 2 times. Alright? Guys, it's just a grey guy. It's an easy problem. It's a grey guy. Lower limit to upper limit being 2 pi over 3. Which function? Oh, I made a mistake. Am I missing the 1/2? 1/2. The formula has a 1/2. Which function? R2 square. And then d theta, correct? And now think before you answer. Am I doing a plus or a minus? Plus, because I'm adding that area. Plus 1/2 again, don't forget the 1/2, from 2 pi, which function? R1 square. That wasn't too bad at all, right? See the concepts come back. And now just for practice, and that was it. Okay, your calculator deal with it. It's a calculator problem. Now just for practice, we will find this area. Everybody, look at the board. Just for practice, I'm being a good teacher. We'll find this area. Okay? I'm illustrating the area for you. Let's call it area S. You call it A dash. This is just me being a good teacher doing an extra problem. We should again use the concept of symmetry. Okay, again, it is smart to do this. Okay, so you know what the cutoffs are. So area equals, look at me please. If I want the outer guy, look at me. Remember, R is defined as the distance from the origin. Should I do monkey square and then minus the donkey square? I need the leftover. Please understand this, Miss Hanson. Guys, for polar, it is never monkey minus donkey whole square. Is that clear? It's always monkey square minus the donkey square. It's not area under the curve. I'll find this entire area, I'll subtract that entire area. So let's do this together. 2 times 1/2 integral from 0 to 2 pi over 3. What am I writing? R1 square minus R2 square. D theta. That will give you the answer. Okay, let's continue B and C. We will, for the most part, only discuss B. C kind of followed like B. Okay. Read the question with me. It's very wordy. Read it with me. Don't look down. Because some of you sometimes will complain, Rama, I don't even know what the problem is saying. That's because you're not paying close enough attention when I'm going over it in class. It says a particle moves with non-zero velocity along the polar curve of that. Okay, so that's R1. And has position x of t, y of t at theta equal to 0 when time equal to 0. You can write it down, but it wasn't relevant to the problem. It paid no. Now this says the particle moves along the curve so that dr over dt equals dr over d theta. They're giving some information. The question says find the value of dr over dt. Now don't forget r is 3 plus 2 cos theta. Find the value of dr over dt at theta equals pi over 3. And then they say a problem dedicated to Marzu. It says interpret your result. Wink. It says interpret your result. So they want dr over dt. It says find the value of dr over dt. Can you start working on it? So dr over dt equals -2 sine theta. Okay, everybody okay there? Now I'm letting you know you made the same mistake I made this morning. Because look at the information given. I don't have information. I just don't have the information I need. Do I know theta? Do I know theta? Do I know d theta over dt? And I can't solve the problem. Okay, watch this. What piece of information haven't we used yet that they gave us? They said that dr over dt is actually dr over d theta. So instead of finding dr over dt, we can simply find dr over d theta. I know, no, don't get scared. We have never done a question like this. Because usually, when they give us a question like this, don't they also give us d theta over dt? Now, don't get me wrong. This is usually how we do it. But I want you to recognize I ran into a brick wall, but I don't have this. And I say, instead of finding this, I can just find that. I'm just sharing that idea with you. Because we got lost. Hey, I can just find dr over d theta. So dr over d theta is simply negative 2 sine theta. With theta being pi over 3. Now pi over 3 is 60. Sine of 60 is radical 3 over 2. So negative 2 times radical 3. You can do the trick though. So it's negative radical 3. Why is that important? The question says interpret. Which crazy smart person or who has good concepts will tell me before you interpret, what are we good to interpret? Can I just say it's decreasing? Miss Huan? I know this girl. She says you should also remember to plug in theta into r to see if it's positive or negative. Remember, there's a sign issue there. For those of you who don't understand what's going on, if r was negative and dr over d theta is negative, two negatives means you're actually going farther away from the origin. I hope that concept comes back. So she says, no, plug into r to see what's going on. So we'll find r of pi over 3. Masharia and Peter 3 says, didn't we have to do something else? But he could not tell me what to do. Masharia knew there was something else involved. He says, there was something else, Rama, but I don't know what it was. And then one of the other kids said, no, Mr. Composano said, no, plug it into r also. Oh, by the way, is that cos? Cos 60 is 1/2. So it's 3 plus 2 times 1/2. Which is 4, correct? The signs are opposite. Alright, I'm going to call out an interpretation, see if you're okay. Because, read the question. It says, interpret your result in terms of motion of the particle. What we have done. Okay, I'm going to call out an. So, dr over d theta equals negative radical 3 indicates that at theta equals pi over 3. Don't forget, you have to start by mentioning it's at that angle. At theta equals pi over 3. Let's see who remembers. What does r stand for again? Thank you. I'm going to take it from there then. The distance or the point on the curve from the origin. Repeat. Or you can say distance of the curve from the origin. The distance of the curve from the origin or distance of a point on the curve from the origin is decreasing since dr over d theta and r of theta have opposite signs. It's there in the Bible. There's a paragraph on this on the Bible. So don't forget they need to have opposite signs. We did a lesson on this to see why. If they have same signs, you're actually going farther away. Please understand that. Alright? Let's do C. We want to do all of it. We'll just kind of set it up. C followed from B. If you understood B, C followed. Read it with me, please. It says, for the particle described in part B, dy over dt equals dy over d theta. Find the value of dy over dt at theta equals pi over 3. Again, still the same thing. Will we run into the same problem? Because I don't know d theta over dt. Can I just find that guy if learning happened? Yeah? To find that guy, calculus, do I need y? And what's y? R sine theta. Don't forget your skills, please. Study the Bible. R is given to be 2 plus, or 3 plus. 3 plus. 3 plus 2 cos theta dot sine theta. And then we should use the dy over dt is the same as dy over d theta. I'm not going to do it, just say product. Okay. Okay. And then, as before, let's see who remembers. It says interpret your result. So assume for a second that's positive, or assume for a second negative. Can we draw a judgment if it's rising or increasing or decreasing? What else should we calculate so you can actually make a good comparison? So make a note, draw a skull please. Find y of theta, or y of pi over 3. Okay. I'll just start you off as far as the stem goes in terms of interpretation. Indicates that, just say dy over dt equals monkey. You can say monkey equals monkey. Repeat, dy over dt equals monkey indicates that What does Y stand for again? Distance from the... Love you, dog. Okay, indicates that the distance from the x-axis is ... It could be increasing, decreasing, whatever the thing is. I don't know what it is because we didn't do the math. Okay. Of course, based on the sign. If both have the same sign, getting farther away from the x-axis. Make a note, distance from the x-axis. See, that concept came back. I taught you well, guys. I've taught you well. Let's do an easy area volume problem. Okay, today's question kind of looks like this one. So, I'm doing the B. I'm doing the regular questions. You guys are doing the B test. Okay. For those of you not aware, guys, I'm letting you know. Sometime in the very near future, and I was talking to Ms. Marzik about this. I'm letting you know. Sometime in the very near future, the hints I give you will vanish. It might happen on Thursday. I'm just sharing this with you. So in other words, you have to do it blind. Like I've done. Please understand. Have a sense of perspective. You've done 10 days with me, kind of holding your hand. At some point, the training wheel will come off, saying, okay, figure it out yourselves. There'll be no hints, nothing. Okay, it's a simple area volume problem. Let's do this together. It says, I have a challenge. Okay, fine, I'll do it. All right, it says, guys, read it with me carefully to observe the language. Let R be the region in the first and the second quadrants. Relax, it was a calculator problem. Bounded above by the graph of that. Now, I'm telling you what your calculator shows the graph to be. It's like this. It kind of looks like a normal distribution. Okay, I'm just letting you know. Let's label it. 20 over 1 plus x squared. If I'm clever, I shall also label this as f of x. And they say, continue reading it. And below, by the horizontal line, y equals 2. Like this. I shall also label it to be g of x. So repeat. Let me speak slowly. It's bounded above by the graph and below by the line. Is that clear? This is the region R. If you're not paying close attention, look at me. You will screw up and write region R to be that, which is incorrect. It says bounded above by the graph, bounded below by the line. Read the instructions carefully. Okay. I just want to emphasize a couple of small important ideas, please. See if this comes back. It's a two graph problem, two function problem. So we need to find the point of intersection. Now, this is a calculator problem, but we'll do it by hand, by the way, just for algebra skills. Guys, I've switched my expectation or trick to the class. I hope you pay close attention, please. Write that in F1, write that in F2, and use the intersect command. The old method I told you, let me speak slowly. The old method was, should you do F minus G and find the x-intercept? I do not recommend you do that. Here's why. Some of you say, oh yeah, that's smart. Remember on yesterday's problem, 1C for example, is it smart to also know the y value? The intersect command gives you the x value and the y value. Okay, let me speak slowly. The intersect command gives you both x and y values of points of intersection immediately. But if you do F minus G and find the x-intercept, that's not wrong. Do you have an extra step to plug it in to find the y value? I hope I'm making sense. Okay, let's move on because I want to accelerate. Let's do 20 over 1 plus x squared equals 2 because it could be done by hand. Next step, I'm testing algebra skills. Next step. Sorry? Oh my god, did somebody say flip? That is very smart. We did not do this in the other class at all. He's using a skill we learned. Therefore, 1 plus x squared will be... Oh, no. If I flip, this should become 1/2, right? 2 times 1 plus x squared will become 20. Therefore, 1 plus x squared will become... Therefore, x squared will become... x squared will become... Therefore, x will become plus or minus 3. Let's label that negative 3 and 3. But otherwise, write this down, please. Are we basically cross-multiplying? That's the skill, just cross-multiplying. But that was a smart observation. I want the x on top, just take the reciprocals of both sides. That did not occur to me at all. All right, let's just set it up. We'll do ABC, we'll just set up. So A, it just says write an expression of the area. Come on, it's easy problem. So A equals integral to 3 minus nothing clever. Just top minus bottom. This is the area. We'll do B. B says find the volume. Read it with me, please. Otherwise, you're just copying stuff. Find the volume of the solid generated when region R is rotated about the x-axis. Relax, easy problem. Easy problem. So V equals, what should I not forget to write? Pi, big brackets, negative 3 to 3, What is the question I ask myself? Okay, solid or hollow? It's going to go. So solid or hollow? Hollow. So I'll have an outer and an inner radius. Outer radius, inner radius, dx. Again, for the kids with weaker skills, look at the board. The others can look down. Okay, you don't need to look at the board. But if you have slightly weaker skills, I'm not going to scold you or shame you. Just look at the board, please. This is my outer radius. I go from the axis to the guy farther away. Just go top minus bottom. That'll be here. For inner radius, go from the axis to the guy closer. That's your inner. And just go top minus bottom. That'll go there. Fill in the blanks yourselves. That's how it always works. Mr. Huyn, what's your outer radius?
F1.
Sorry?
Oh, the outer F1.
You're calling that guy F1?
Is that what we call it?
We call that top guy F and the bottom guy G.
Oh, it would just be F1.
The F square, don't forget the square. And then what's your inner radius?
G.
G or 2 square or G, doesn't matter either. We good? Again, outer radius F minus 0, inner radius G minus 0. Gimme. Okay, we're doing C, just for practice. So you don't leave easy points on the table. Read it with me, please. Read it with me. I'll be a good teacher at school now. Yeah. It says the region R is the base of a solid. For this solid, no surprises. Every cross-section perpendicular to the x-axis are semicircles. Find the volume of the solid. Set it up yourselves. Yes, Mr. Park.
Wasn't it above the graph as the text?
What?
In the question, no, like the very beginning.
Yeah.
It's bounded by the.
No, you guys, ignore what he's talking about. You guys write. I'll address the question. No, we're fine. We're fine. No. It says bounded.
Above.
No. It says let R be the region. The first one bounded above. The region is bounded above by the graph. English. Let me speak slowly. The region is bounded. Bounded means limited. Limited by the graph F above and bounded below by the graph y equals 2. That's what they intend to say. That's what the interpretation is. But assume, let's go with what you are talking about, and you'll convince yourself that doesn't make any sense. So, all the way up to infinity, but somehow y equals 2 is involved.
Isn't it from like 3 to infinity and
No. Because the graph here, again, bounded, read it slowly. It's bounded above, the region is bounded above by the graph. Yeah, do you observe his question? Why you might get confused? In the other class, we actually had this discussion. The region is bounded above by the graph. Is that clear? Okay, let's move on, please. What's my scale factor for semicircle? 5/8. Integral, -3 to 3. Guys, it's a gimme. I just need the dimension. What's that dimension? It's F minus G. Don't forget to square it. The formula says dimension square. That's it. The calculator will take care of it. Okay, last problem of the day. Okay. Did we begin this problem at all or no? Okay, then we have to do the entire problem. Okay, write this down please. 2006 B AB6. Stay with me, do not fall behind. Okay, we have done 100 of these problems. Okay, part A. You don't need to copy anything. Guys, don't copy anything. The only thing relevant was this. They give you velocity and acceleration. This is relevant to the problem. I'm speaking, look at the board please. Both velocity and acceleration are continuous functions. It's relevant to the problem. Okay, make a note if you want to. Okay, part A and B are gimme problems. Like 4 or 5 points easily just thrown away. It says, using appropriate units, explain the meaning of 30 to 60 absolute value V of t dt. Can you please write me a phrase or a sentence? By the way, context, in case you're saying, what is the context, Rama? Here, a car travels on a straight track. A car is traveling. Okay. So write me a right-hand side. Denotes the Ms. Rios. Thank you. Distance traveled by the car, or distance the car travels. Be more specific. Distance traveled by the car. What else do we write? Between t equal 30 minutes and 60 minutes. Read the question again. What have we not addressed yet? Read the question again. It says units. What would my, I forgot what I do a distance. What would my units be? In feet. Make a note. Feet. Okay, we'll only set it up. Continue reading A. Continue reading A. It also says use a trapezoidal Riemann sum. So observe notation. I, being a good teacher, show the left-hand side. So 30 to 60, absolute value V of t dt is approximately. Now pay close attention. This is the tricky one. We're using a trapezoidal Riemann sum. So who can tell me how that works? You'll have to be louder. 14 plus 10. Okay, a couple of things. Why? Look at the table. Why did I not say 20 plus 30? Please pay. No. Why did I not? No, look at the table again. Why did I not say 20 plus 30? It starts from 30. Please be alert. Okay, why did I not say negative 14 plus negative 10? Please be alert. Over 2 times 5 plus dot dot dot. The first one was important. Like, do you understand how the trapezoidal rule works for absolute value velocity? We're doing B next. Read B, please. Oh, sorry. Okay, B says, interpret the meaning of this. Integral 0 to 30 A of t. Okay, copy that down. Okay, let me go over the concept again. Our old rule during chapter 6 was this. If you can interpret it, go right ahead and interpret it. If you cannot, maybe rewrite. And then the answer will appear. That's the general rule for these expressions. If you know exactly what that means, write it down. You say, nah, that's a weird expression. Maybe rewrite and the answer will appear. Mr. San Diego.
Acceleration.
Mr. Miller, please call the office. Mr.
Thank
Miller,
you.
please call the office.
So that's V dash of t. Is that V of 30 minus V of 0? I hope, Mr. San Diego, in your explanation, you don't mention acceleration at all.
No.
Okay, it is the, so write it down, it is the change in velocity, units, feet per second, is the change in velocity in feet per second between t equal to 0 and t equal to 30 minutes for the car. We need to mention the context. It's the car's motion, correct? Of what? No, of the car. Okay, last 2 questions of the day. Have a look at C, please. In your notebook, just write, it says, why must there be a T? I'm helping you. What does that remind you of? Nobody speaks. Don't speak. Do not speak. Give it the game away. I want everybody to think. It says, in the interval 0 to 60, why must there be a time t when the velocity is negative 5? Justify answer. I'll scroll up so you can see what's going on. Why, Ms. Rani, look up please. Why in some interval 0 to 60, the velocity should be negative 5 somewhere along the line. So here's my question to the class. First question, you got points for identifying the interval. That's carried 1 point. The second point, or there are 2 more points for writing a detailed explanation. So who can tell me first the easy one, which is which interval works? 35 to 50? Everybody get that, so you can get 1 point. Okay, nobody speaks. Now to write a reason. Which concept is involved? IVT, because we're just looking at it and writing down. Now, it's been such a long while since we talked about IVT. I'm going to call it out. Write this down, please. Since, in case you've forgotten the IVT, it's page 3 of the Bible. It's just the function is continuous. That's the only condition for IVT. Since V of t is continuous over, was it 35 to 50, was it? Yeah? Over 35 to 50. By the way, brackets. IVT uses brackets throughout. Repeat. IVT uses brackets throughout. Who wants to come in? Do you want to come in? By IVT, see if this comes back. There exists. Read the question. At least one. Is it T? Yeah, it's T. At least one T in brackets 35 to 50. Again, IVT uses brackets throughout. If they use parentheses, but usually IVT uses brackets. Such that, now, this is something you shall have forgotten. I'm going to write something, say, oh, I remember. I'm going to look at the table. Okay? Yeah, but V of 35, which is negative 10, is less or equal to V of t, which is negative 5 they gave us, should be less or equal to V of 50, which is 0. Oh, Mr. Fan, actually Dan was wrong. The inequality we had was perfectly fine. I don't know why we changed it. Have a look, guys. See if this concept comes back. When we do this, should you not make sure the inequality works? Is negative 5 bigger than negative 10? And is 0 bigger than negative 5? For those of you who say, I have no idea what you're doing. Because sometimes, don't write, sometimes assume this was the inequality. That was a 5, that was negative 10, and that was, say, 0. Oh, sorry. No. That's, say, negative 20. Okay, that's better. See if this comes back. Should we not switch the inequality? Correct? Because have a look, our inequality is fine. Why did you not point it out? I didn't even look at what she said. So Miss Dan, sorry, there's a girl, smart kid though. She's a junior in my AV class. She said, Rama, shouldn't the inequality be switched? I'll be honest, I'm like embarrassed confessing to this. I didn't even pay attention to the numbers or pay attention. I just said, oh, okay guys, we need to switch it. And everybody switched it. But in my BC class, being BC kids, they said, why are you switching it? I said, because we switched it in AB. And the kid said, and why are you switching it, Rama? The inequality is perfectly fine as it is. I felt so foolish. Have a look. Mr. Fan, negative 5 is bigger, or there's negative 10. Is bigger than that, and 0 is bigger than that. We need not have switched it.
Maybe at different numbers.
No, it was the same numbers. It was the same problem, man.
I don't remember getting to 0, 8, 10.
Yeah, we did 35 default. Okay, let's move on. Okay, last question. Unless we wrote down something incorrectly. But it was the same problem. I'm letting you know. Okay? Alright, guys, last question. It says, between 0 to 60, why must there be a time where A of t is 0? Watch. A of t should be 0. Which insanely smart fellow will tell me how to figure out the problem? Okay, go on, Mr. Park.
0 to 25 MVP.
I love you. He says, do not. Everybody, look at the temptation. Because they say A of t is 0, are you tempted to look here? And you're saying, why should A of t be 0? He says, no. Why don't we look at V, apply the MVT? Because what's V dash? A. Then I'm showing his argument. But if I'm doing V dash, then it's MVT on V dash. And then he correctly says 0 to 25. Look at 0 to 25. Look at those numbers. What is so significant about 0 to 25? Is MSEC going to be 0? Look at that. But MSEC automatically be 0. So let's do the work, please. So we're going to just write the MVT and it'll totally appear. And that'll make a very interesting problem. Because in all my other classes, we did it using 2 methods. Because, what's this? This is the second method. What? Assume that wasn't negative 20, Mr. Park. Okay, those of you crazy smart. Mr. Fan, pay close attention. I mean, we discussed this, but here's a better problem. Assume that wasn't negative 20, it's negative 10. 0 to 25 will still work. Why? Can somebody answer that question? Yes, Mr. Cyprus.
Because the function t negative 20 lies somewhere between.
Oh my god, insanely smart. He says negative 20 will lie somewhere in between those two numbers. Do you understand that? Now, I'll be honest with you, that requires a fair amount of intelligence. But here's an easier argument. Put your pencils down. Here's an easier argument. Okay, let's focus on the V graph. I'm speaking, so look at the board. From 0 to 15, the graph is decreasing. And from 15 to 25, focus on negative 10. The graph is, and the function is given to be continuous. Okay? And it's differentiable because it says A of t is continuous. So it's differentiable too. In other words, in simple language, no sharp corners. So if I'm decreasing and increasing, somewhere along the line, the tangent line should have been 0. Do you understand that easy argument? That's more intuitive. Repeat. I'm decreasing and then increasing. Somewhere along the line, there's no sharp corners. I must have a horizontal tangent. Is that basically B dash should be 0 then? Therefore A should be 0. Okay, let's write down the argument and we're done. Thank you. So we're doing D, but I'll do the MVT argument, alright? Since V of t is differentiable. In case you say, how do we know, Rama? Remember, it says A of t is continuous. Differentiable over 0 to 25. I'm going to use parentheses. By MVT, there exists at least 1t in the interval 0 to 25 such that MSEC equals M tan. Keep looking down. This is what we always write. What work do I show for MSEC? V of, thank you, V of 25 minus V of 0. What am I writing on the right hand side? Hint, M tan for the V function. V dash. Oh, and what's V dash after all? A of t. Are both of these negative 20? Negative 20 minus negative 20. Two negatives make a positive. 25, which is 0, equals A. Everybody okay there? Okay, but before I leave, those of you aiming for that 5, like Rama, I've worked hard all year, and I pretend to be reasonably bright. Everybody, look at me. And I was telling my AP class, so Mr. Fan is here. Guys, pay attention. That argument I made about your decreasing, increasing is an important argument. It is going to appear on an FRQ 2 days from now, because look at the board, MVT will not directly work. Unless you're like Sarkozy saying, it'll still work. But the easy argument is rising and then falling, or falling and rising, therefore I must have a horizontal tangent, is an easy argument to make. I hope you paid attention. Yes. Ask me. Guys, can somebody get the lights? Wouldn't you like Y equals something or X equals something? It's already got a point. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you.